49ers and Saints. 49ers came to New Orleans and 49ers were banged up. The Saints team's not necessarily going to be competing with the healthy Niners team, so I thought maybe the Saints had a chance, but no. No, it was a lot closer than I think some people anticipated, but nonetheless, let's just dive right into it. Spencer Rattler, he's looked really good. I mean, if you say that he's looked bad, then I don't. You're not watching. You're not watching him. You're like, yeah. You look at the stats. I mean, you look at the stats of him compared to every other year two quarterback. It's pretty remarkable what he's doing. Um, especially when everybody's talking about Drake May, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy. And this guy, he was not a first round pick. He was a second round pick. And yeah, I mean, look, I know Rattler's not like the franchise quarterback or anything, but he's definitely proving his worth that he is really talented. He just needs to be consistent. If he continues this for the whole season, then I will be impressed. Um, Rattler has been making beautiful throws since throughout camp, throughout preseason, and in this game, he made a beautiful throw to Rashid Shaheed. It drew pass interference, which was ultimately declined because Shaheed ended up catching it. The 49 it, the Saints got the ball in the 49ers side of the field. Chris Olave dropped a touchdown pass on the opening drive. It was thrown a little behind him too, so that's just a chemistry thing between the two players. Olave and Rattler need to get they need to just talk. That's all. Um, the Saints end up settling for a Blake Grupe 40-yard field goal, even with the great first drive. But Grupe's kick is wide right. So Grupe has looked fantastic up until that kick. Um, then the Niners went on offense. It was funny looking at Mac Jones because in a 49ers uniform, he looks like great value Jimmy Garoppolo, especially wearing the number 10. It was it was very interesting. They both have a very similar style, very similar passing. It just it was pretty interesting to see that. Um, very quickly, the Saints defense put pressure on Mac Jones, forced a three and out. They did that in the Cardinals game where they started off hot. In this game, I mean, they did. I think they showed a little bit more consistency in this game, considering the first week jitters for everybody. Um, another drop this time from Jawan Johnson. It hit him right in the chest. I mean, man, he tried catching the ball. It just hit him right in the chest. Uh, um, that was probably what summed up the entire, outside of one play. It it did sum up the offense in the pass game. Um, Another drive in San Francisco territory ends with no points and a forced punt. I love the aggressiveness of this defense. There's so there's they can't handle a mobile quarterback though. That's the only thing. They're playing so aggressive that a team who is just aware of how a defense is aggressive, like maybe the Ravens, a team who does a lot of screen passes, maybe like Miami, would probably dominate the Saints defense. So Mac Jones has always been pretty mobile. He's not like Lamar or Jalen Hurts, but he's a pretty mobile quarterback. I mean, it's been really well known that he's pretty mobile. Um, again with the third down conversions and penalties. This is a clear issue in the preseason. It was a clear issue in in the first game, and it's a clear issue in this second game. I mean, they just can't get off the field. And on 3rd and 2, Mac Jones threw an 11-yard touchdown to Luke Farrell. The defense sold out on an inside run, and Mac Jones hit Luke Farrell. Um, the extra point was wide right from Eddie Pinheiro. Now, this is a new kicker. Jake Moody was their kicker. So this is Eddie Pinheiro's first game. Now, Eddie is played against the Saints before. He was with the Panthers for a while. Statistically, he's top 10 in field goal percentage all time, which I mean, he's had a pretty short career. Another drop from Juwan Johnson after a penalty, and it's 3rd and 18, and then a punt from the Saints. Like, oh, that was the first quarter. Offense just like I'm very curious to see the adjusted completion percentage for Spencer Rattler from this game, because I thought he was passing really well, despite the drops. Second quarter, Eddie Pinheiro kicked a 44-yard field goal. It was his first points as a Niner. Offense couldn't get any rhythm going. Olave caught an underneath route and tripped over his own feet. It just the drops started to settle in that like Rattler was trying to do so much more for the team than needed to be done. Um, and because he couldn't trust his teammates at this point. So going over to the Saints defensive side of the ball, I think they did a solid job containing Christian McCaffrey the whole game. Um, I thought Carl Granderson was having himself a fantastic 2 game stretch right now. Um, he's just been all over the place. He's been stopping runs. He's been the quarterback, putting pressure on the quarterback. He's been running, like when there's an open guy breaking away down the sideline, he'll come down and tackle the guy. Like he's been playing really well. This is a breakout year for Carl Granderson. Um, Rattler somehow on 3rd down broke 2 tackles and got a first down. It was oh, that was scary because Fred Warner was right there. Oh, I thought he was going to get decked. Yeah, Rattler, I mean, he's showing his athleticism. Um, and then Rattler threw a beautiful fade to Juwan Johnson for an 18-yard touchdown. It was a great play, great catch by Juwan Johnson. Juwan's playing, I mean, Rattler seems to be more focused in on Juwan than any other receiver. And the issue is Juwan needs to come up with some of these catches. I mean, he's had what 2, 3 drops. A lot of balls hit his hands. Um, so then Mac Jones, and the 49ers offense, they were making easy underneath out routes to move the ball down the field. It was basic offense passing, and they just kept moving the ball down the field. Well, ultimately, Mac Jones threw an 8-yard touchdown to Christian McCaffrey with 7 seconds left in the first half. It's just terrible defense with no changes on the final drive. It's like they were just operating the same exact type of defense the entire final drive of this first half, and ended up allowing the San Fran to drive down the field really easily. Like that's how Mac Jones operates, is that type of offense. Just the dinking and dunking, quick out routes. Um, so 49ers lead 16-7 at halftime. Now the third quarter, I mean, the Saints were coming back. I mean, the defense started off with a strip sack from Chris Rumph. Um, Demario Davis recovered the ball at the San Fran 47-yard line. Uh, and on fourth and 1 at the 22-yard line, Rattler takes a run himself for a first down. I love it. I mean, the play was clearly blown up from the start, and he instead of forcing the pass, he realized I can just pick this up myself. And I want to see that. Like that's what I want to see. And none of these guys are gonna be like these guys aren't expected to be Hall of Famers or Pro Bowlers even. Like if just improvise, and it was great improvisation from Spencer Rattler there. And that's what he's been doing all off season and preseason and now in the regular season. Rattler threw a 3-yard touchdown to wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to make it a one possession game. Eddie Pinheiro came back, kicked a 46-yard field goal, and this is probably the turning point in the game. And I don't, it's just unlucky, an unlucky sequence of events. So, uh, Spencer Rattler threw a pass to Alvin Kamara, and Kamara pinned it to his helmet because it was it was an awkward like angle for him to catch it. So he pinned it to his helmet and he maintained possession, but Fred Warner, being the all-pro linebacker that he is, because he's the best linebacker in football, he's the best off-ball linebacker in football. Um, just punched it right out. And San Fran recovered, and he also recovered it at the San Fran 29-yard line. It was just unlucky play, and Fred Warner took advantage of it. I mean, if you're gonna ask Rattler to do anything, make it a little lower of a pass. If it was lower, I don't think Kamara catches it because I think it's behind him. It's not Rattler really couldn't have led him because of the defender. Kamara, I mean, I don't really. The only thing I could have asked of Kamara is to drop a pass. Like it sucks. It was a just an unlucky play and ended up being a turning point in a great start to the second half. Um, so fourth quarter, third down defense struggles continue to plague this defense, and it's been happening for like 3, 4 years now. Um, these underneath passes, they just couldn't stop it. Mac Jones ultimately threw a 42-yard touchdown to wide receiver Jawan Jennings, who was wide open over the middle of the field. We were playing a zone coverage, and the linebacker was in the zone over Jawan Jennings, who was their best receiver with the injuries that were plaguing the 49ers. So you're asking a linebacker to cover Jawan Jennings. That's not going to happen. Um, I mean, Mac Jones made the best of that situation, and yeah, they ended up scoring. And it really went downhill. I mean, the Saints did attempt a comeback. Rattler threw a 3-yard touchdown to Devon Vele, his first touchdown as a Saint. Uh, Offense wasn't able to do much of anything after forcing a punt. So they forced a punt for the Niners, but they couldn't do anything with less than 4 minutes left. Spencer Rattler ended up getting strip sacked by Bryce Huff. The Saints recovered, but it was a turnover on downs, either way at the 27-yard line. So the 49ers ended up winning 26-21. The Saints fall to 0-2. Um, Once again, this game did not have Chase Young or Trevor Penning. They're both injured still. Of course, Chase Young is, but the 49ers were also without Brock Purdy and George Kittle, so they were not healthy either. A lot of 49ers fans were at this game in attendance. I mean, when I first saw the game, seeing all the red, there was a lot of red, and it was kind of embarrassing. Um, I mean, I don't live in New Orleans, so I can't like go to the game if I wanted to. Um, Cameron Jordan, after this game, tied Drew Brees for the most games played in Saints history. And I mean, next week, Cameron Jordan's gonna have more games played than any New Orleans Saint ever. That's that's crazy to think about because I remember when we drafted him, um, and it's awesome to see how far he's come along. One of my favorite defensive players ever. I mean, I got the color rush jersey in my closet of him, and it's awesome to see him out there. And he's still playing. He's still playing solid at this age. He's climbing up the sack chart all time sack leaders. So I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer or not. I don't. There's a long list of edge rushers that should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's probably going to just be added to that list. So, I don't know if he will be. And it's pretty crazy. Alvin Kamara has 7 career fumbles. 4 of them are versus the 49ers. He has 3 fumbles versus the rest of the league, but 4 of his fumbles come from the Niners. I don't know what to say. Kamara doesn't fumble very often, and it's like an unlucky play there. So yeah, it's a rough game. Saints are going to be playing the Seahawks next week. Um, you're playing Sam Darnold. This was one game I was interested in possibly getting a win. I mean, based off what I've seen from this Saints team, they've definitely looked better than I expected. Um, I'm still kind of in the same boat as to how many wins we end up getting, but if the Saints are going to look at their first win, there's a possibility this week. You got to put Sam Darnold's head on a swivel. You got to make sure Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba, both of them aren't getting open. That's an issue. And you got to make sure Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, that they're not getting the ground game going. You need to focus. You need for Sam Darnold to pass. The issue is our secondary is not that great, so you have to put pressure on Sam Darnold. And defensively, the Seahawks have a very good defense. So take the points when you get into the red zone, kick a field goal. Like take any points that you can get. So I wouldn't be shocked if this was a very low scoring game in general. Um, and I also wouldn't be shocked if the Seahawks ended up just blowing us out because the way the Seahawks offense operates, it's their strengths are the Saints' weaknesses, and that's mainly the secondary. And they have very talented route runners. Who have great hands. So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough day. I'm hoping maybe Alvin Kamara can get going, have a big rushing performance. I don't He doesn't even need to have a good receiving performance, but just a good rushing performance. Um, yeah, that's really all I have. Whew, yeah, this is gonna be look, it's gonna be a rough stretch, but the positive, Spencer Rattler looks very good. I mean, statistically, like what, top 10 quarterback? But top half of the league, definitely. That was something nobody expected. Um, and Kamara's still playing well. You just want to see the receivers kind of get open more, get them utilized more. Jawan Jennings, just don't drop those passes. And right now, you're one of the best tight ends in football, because you're Rattler's security blanket. So, and defensively, look, you put pressure, it'll put less pressure on your secondary. So that's the goals. But yeah, I'll be back next week for to cover the Saints and Seahawks game. And yeah, so go Saints.